Most people in their kegerator want to serve beers at different pressures, or maybe it's not beer, maybe it's seltzer water, maybe it's whatever, or be able to carbonate one while serving the other. This board is awesome. This allows you to hook up one CO2 source and have 4 different pressures coming off of it. Today we're going to go over making a board to manage our gas pressures for our kegerator. These are pretty sweet. I first saw it in Olin's video, link above. Fairly new to me, so I'm excited. I'm building one for myself and just kind of going over the theory and how we're going to set it up, because you could set yours up differently if you wanted to. So we're now ready to say, okay, how do we want this to come in? Which side do we want it to come in? So let's decide that first. Let's just, for the sake of argument, come in this way. So the very first thing we're probably going to want to do is have a tee. So we're going to have one line coming in this way, and we're going to tee off here, come out to our regulator, and then go to our keg. And personally, I'm going to go high pressure on my first one. If it's closest to the regulator, I'm probably going to have
soda keg or something like that, or
carbonated water, something of that pressure. While you're evenly distributing amongst all 4 of them,
in theory the pressure should be the same, but you know,
as you have resistance each time it changes, it's going to drop down a little bit. So you might as well just kind of go in an order. But what this allows you to have is carbonated water here, hop water here, potentially a Berliner Weiss here, and a stout here. And I say stout, I'm not talking a nitro stout. Now you could set these boards up to have 2 different gases coming in and having some set for a beer gas mix. Today we're just going to deal with CO2. So kind of 2 different ways to connect everything all up. One way is to just cut little snippets off of your tubing, pretty easy. But Kegland also sells these cute little already cut ones. And the reason we like these is they're not bent, they're straight. So they'll be a lot easier to put things together. And these are so easy to just slide right together. Now, what we're going to build today is the ability to turn off each one of these, which is awesome. So we're going to put in a shutoff valve for each one.
So Chris, why would we want to be able to shut off each line?
The first thing is just to prevent leaks down the road. And let's say something, you could untighten this all the way to get your regulator to 0, but what if it's just slightly pushed down and now if this isn't connected to anything, you're just losing a tiny amount of CO2 at a time. Well, eventually you're going to run dry. So personally, it's just kind of nice. Sometimes when you're doing something you're just not sure and you want there to be no pressure, it's just really nice to just turn this guy off.
Makes me think of at the brewery, always putting in T valves, butterfly valves at points. It gives me a place to stop it and do any maintenance I need to do down the line. So totally agree with that, yes.
So again, we're just gonna click that in, nice and easy. Sometimes I'll just use a table, and then we're gonna put this guy into here. And so the last thing I want, especially when dealing with high pressure, so you got a keg that sometimes at 50, 60 PSI, the last thing I'm going to want on there is a one-way preventer. And these have an arrow on here that tell you the direction of flow. So this will allow gas to go this way, but not come back this way.
Also on the regulators, there's an arrow to tell them which way flow goes as well. Yeah, so it's super handy, so you're not trying to figure that out.
For simplicity today, we're just going to put it right here after the regulator. Shove that down and put that guy right into here. And voila. Now it's pretty easy from here on out. So essentially we're just going to start ganging them. We have, another one that's going to go into there, another T, another one on there.
All right, Chris, we just put this together. Walk me through, walk us through what we've got going on here. We've got our gas in, and then let's talk through it.
High pressure line coming in, probably 50, 60 PSI, depending on what we want our highest pressure coming out.
So you'll set that at the highest mark of whatever we'll regulate down to.
Yep. Each one of these you can turn off. Whether you feel you have a leak or you're just not using it and there's no point in even worrying about a leak, go ahead and turn that line off.
Allows you to kind of turn off that line and then fix, replace tubing, anything like that downstream.
Each one of these you can tighten up to change your pressure rating. And then coming out, each one has a one-way preventer, so gas comes out, but liquid can't accidentally come in.
Yeah, I'm sure all of us, or if you haven't done this, but you hook up a keg that might have like 32 PSI, this is set to 16, you've now got beer going back up your tube. Not good.
Well, if it ever bridges and bridges, then you get root beer inside your IPA, and nobody wants that.
Yeah, and in your regulators, you definitely don't want, sticky beer, root beer, etc. going
Any
in there.
liquid.
Yeah. All right, so we built the flux capacitor. You can go back in time with this. No, I'm just kidding. All right, thanks for watching. Let us know what you like about this video in the comments. Make sure you like and subscribe, and see you next time.